testosterone actually makes a huge difference in the way you look. And when I was younger, I thought I had bad genetics, and the truth actually is that I had good genetics that hadn't been activated. And the way you activate your genetics is through hormones and masculine gene expression. Everyone has amazing genetic potential, and this potential is maximized by lifestyle factors, health markers, and so on. So, when I realized that I could actually change my genetics and activate certain genetics that would make me look better, that would improve my face, that's when I came across the hormone testosterone. And so what testosterone does is it's released from the adrenals and the testicles, and it travels around the blood to certain areas like the muscles, the bones, and the face, and it enters the cells in these organs, and it alters the genetics inside of them cells and makes you express more genes that make you look more masculine. So for example, if it was to go to your muscles, it would increase the size, the strength, and the total muscularity of your muscles. If it went to your bones, it would increase the density. If it went to your face, it would go into the cells in the skin and increase facial hair growth. If they went around your body to your legs, it would increase muscle mass there. It would increase the size of your feet, the size of your hands. It would make you taller. It would increase the size of your clavicles, and so on. So you have good genetics. It's just that certain genetics have not been activated because of issues with your hormones and your lifestyle factors. Now that being said, when I was younger, I thought that I had really bad genetics. I had a recessed jaw. I had really bad health markers, and I was very skinny, weak, and so on. So when I focused on increasing my testosterone, that's when everything changed. 2 years later, I made a huge difference in my face, in my bone density. I look more stronger, I am more stronger, I'm more fitter, I'm more athletic, and so on. So how does this actually work? So, as I explained before, testosterone travels to places in the body, enters the androgen receptor, and activates certain genes inside the cells that make you look more masculine, make you look more dimorphic, and make your bones and muscles stronger. Another thing it does is it increases facial dimorphism, which basically is how masculine or feminine you look and you are. So testosterone, the higher testosterone you have, the more dimorphic you will be, the more you will look like a man and less like, a woman or a neutral human that doesn't look like a male or female. Testosterone doesn't only increase your bone density and make you more, angular, it also reduces body fat and facial fat in the body. So testosterone actually affects stem cells and makes them turn more of them into muscle cells and less of them turning into fat cells. So therefore it lowers body fat and it makes you look more, shredded, and it lowers like this soft look and makes you look more angular and dense. So it makes your whole skull more dense, and your arms, your bones in your body more dense and stronger, less likely to break. It prevents issues like arthritis, and it's so important in aging men. Those who have low testosterone in aging men always experience higher mortality rates, and this is proven in so many scientific studies. So another thing I need to address is the fact that people think that their genetics are cemented and their bones are cemented and you can't change your bones. People always say this, especially black pillars. They love saying that you can't change your bones. And the truth is that your bones can be changed. Your bones are an alive organ. Your bone, your whole skeleton is alive. It's constantly being reconstructed and deconstructed by cells in the body called osteoclasts and osteoblasts. And what Wolff's law says is that a bone adapts to forces being placed on it. And if that force makes the bone, places it under stress, such as, lifting a heavy weight, that bone will adapt to that stress and become stronger, and it will become more dense. And how does this happen? Osteoclasts and osteoblasts deconstruct the bone, then reconstruct it, making it stronger. And this doesn't just work in one way, it also works in the other way. if you were to not use your bones, if you were to not use your jaw to chew hard food, you will lose the density of that jaw and the jaw will become recessed. This has been seen in so many children where those who had severe blocked noses for a long time, severe sleep apnea, experienced extremely recessed jaws because they didn't use it and they would always mouth breathe. So whatever you don't use, you will lose. And that could be your muscles, your bones, and so on. So that your bones, they're alive. It's important to know that your bones, they're alive, constantly being reconstructed and deconstructed constantly. So if you were to change how you use them bones, if you were to place more force on them to make them grow stronger and thicker, that will affect how you look and it will make you look more dimorphic. And it will make you look more healthier and high, and it will increase your dimorphism. So that being said, when I realized this, it massively changed my face. I went from looking like, a very low IQ looking individual to more of a healthy, more properly well-grown, healthy male. So now that you know that testosterone massively affects your face and the importance of testosterone in affecting the face, you need to increase your testosterone actively, because in today's age, there are so many things, so many factors that massively reduce your testosterone, such as, plastics, toxins in the water, endocrine disruptors, junk food, sedentary lifestyle, not exercising, social media usage, playing video games all day, not going outside, not getting out of sunlight. All of these issues will massively reduce your testosterone. Everything is making men weaker, and everything is ruining their testosterone in today's day and age. So you must actively work in the opposite direction and try as hard as you can to increase your testosterone, whether it be diet, exercise, sleep, and competition and all of that. So if you want to learn about how to increase your testosterone so you can look better, feel better, and be better, I'd strongly recommend you check out my school community, which gives you the blueprint of how I went from looking like a low IQ person, being low testosterone, 350 nanograms, to then being 750 nanograms of testosterone in the space of 1 year, completely naturally. So make sure you check out the school community, which gives you everything you need in order to increase your testosterone and become a better man. So that's it for today, everyone, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.